let's solve this system. Now, you may have noticed sometimes systems have this cool little bracket on the side, on one side. Sometimes that's there, sometimes it's not. I like drawing those, so I'll put it there. All right, let's try the elimination method. So again, we're trying to add like terms up to down to try to get rid of one of my variables. So let's see if I could just add x plus 2x, that would give me 3x. Negative 2y plus 3y, that would give me a y. Negative 13 plus 16, that would give me a 3. Shoot, did I effectively eliminate one of my variables? Shoot, I didn't. So that's not going to work. But if I'm sneaky, I think I could rewrite one of these equations so that when I do add like terms up to down, I could get rid of one of the variables. Remember, with an equation, it's like a balance. You can do whatever you want to one side as long as you do it to the other side. If you multiply one side by 5, you multiply the other side by 5. If you subtract 2 on one side, you can subtract 2 to the other side, etc. So what I want to do is I want to rewrite one of these equations so that when I add up to down, I'm going to eliminate one of the variables. So I'm honing in on the x's. I'm thinking to myself, if this were a negative 2x, negative 2x and 2x, those would eliminate each other. Wouldn't that be handy? But can I just slap a negative 2 in front of that x? No, that would totally change this equation. But what I can do is I can multiply every term on this side by negative 2, as long as I also multiply every term on that side by negative 2. I've done the same thing to both sides. Hang in there with me and let's see where this is going to take us. I'm going to rewrite this new top equation here. So this is now going to become negative 2x. I'm distributing this. Negative 2 times negative 2y, that gives me a positive 4y, equals negative 13 times negative 2. That gives me a positive 26. All right, I'm not going to change this second equation at all. I'm leaving it as is. I'm just going to rewrite it underneath. So there's my new system. This red equation is exactly the same as the black equation. All the xy points are the same. If I graphed that original line and I graphed this red line, they would be exactly the same line. I just changed the way this looked. It's kind of like writing 1/2 as 2/4. You're writing it a different way, but they have the same value. Okay, so now, are you looking ahead and seeing what I can do now? Holy cow, this is going to be so cool. I think now I can use my elimination method. When I add up to down, I'm going to be successful in eliminating one of my variables. Negative 2x plus 2x, that's 0. No more x. 4y plus 3y, that's going to give me a 7y. 26 plus 16, let's see, 6 plus 6 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 42. So I have 7 times y equals 42. I can do that in my head if we're good with our multiplication table. 7 times what is 42? Oh, that's 6. If you didn't remember that, you could have just divided, of course, done your algebra, divide both sides by 7, divide both sides by 7. You can even ask your calculator if you need to find that that's going to be 6. Hey, I have a y. I know that y equals 6. That was not that horrible. What do I have to do to finish this problem? That's right. I'm solving a system, so I need an XY pair. So how am I going to find my x that goes with this y? Well, I can pick either one of my equations. I'm just going to pick my original equation here, x minus 2y equals negative 13, just because that looks easiest. And I'm going to replace this y with my 6 and find my x. That's going to be x minus 12 equals negative 13. You could try doing this in your head. What minus 12 equals negative 13? I think it's going to be a negative 1. But we can do our little algebra, add 12 to both sides. Sure enough, x equals negative 1. So, da 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 da, I have my solution to this system, which is negative 1, comma 6. This is the ordered pair that solves both equations. If I were to graph this line, negative 1, 6 would be on that line. If I were to graph this line, negative 1, 6 would be on that line. And not only that, negative 1, 6 would be the point where those two lines intersect. All right, I hope this was helpful. Have fun solving those systems.